Greetings, friends. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. Here's a conversation that I think is very valuable when it comes to having a happy and nourishing relationship with food. Are you trying to control your appetite? That's the big question. Let me start off by saying that in my 40 plus years of coaching and counseling people around their eating challenges, I've seen far too many people who are in a constant battle with their appetite. Meaning, whenever they're hungry, they feel a sense of alarm, of unsafety. As soon as hunger shows up, they want to somehow suppress it, want to make it go away. I want to send it back to wherever it came from, because it didn't come from a good place. And why do people look to control their appetite? Well, you know the answer. So many of us are in a struggle around weight, around trying to lose body fat, or doing everything we can to not gain weight. And it seems to the logical mind that the best way to control our weight is to control how much food I eat, which means to control my appetite. So to the human mind that's in any kind of fear around weight or body fat, it seems logical that appetite is our enemy, and we therefore must fight it or control it. So if you're the kind of person who believes that you must put in energy and effort into controlling your appetite, I have a very important message for you. Stop. Call a ceasefire on the war with your appetite. Stop trying to overpower it. Stop trying to fight it, and stop trying to control something that is not meant or created to be controlled. I can guarantee you that if you've been fighting to control your appetite, then you've never won. You're in a losing battle that you can never be victorious in. Allow me to explain. Appetite, my friends, is natural. It's part and parcel of our biologic existence, like breathing, like seeing, like hearing. You need to have an appetite. In fact, it's your best friend, or one of your best friends. Your appetite is here to alert you to eat. And we need to eat because food ensures our survival. If you kept forgetting to eat because you didn't have an appetite, you might not survive very long. Appetite is part of our brilliant nutritional feedback loop. All creatures in existence on planet Earth have an appetite. It's how life is intelligently designed. Your appetite is initiated from the most primitive recesses of your brain to ensure your health and your survival. So we should be thanking our appetite every day, not fearing it and not fighting it. Here's the thing. Our appetite is meant not to be controlled, but to be cultivated. Meaning we need to be in a conscious relationship with our appetite. We need to listen to our appetite, get to know it, understand it, learn how it's teaching us, and how to discover every day how to best be in relationship with it so we can have a happy and nourishing experience of eating and our most natural and ideal metabolism. So our appetite is constantly teaching us. It's giving us feedback. It gives us clues as to what kind of food might be best to nourish us and nutrify us at any given moment or meal. My friends, if you find yourself challenged around fighting or controlling your appetite, then you are here to learn and grow from this experience. I'll say that in another way. Every challenge we face with food and body is here to help us grow. Our relationship with food is truly a great teacher. If you think that you need to limit and control your appetite, that would be no different than trying to limit and control your breathing or your need to sleep. This is about learning to work with the natural wisdom of your body, not against it. Here's the challenge. When people try to control their appetite, what do they generally do? In my experience, we try to skip meals or eat really small meals, or we might limit our intake of protein and fat, or try not to have any pleasurable foods like chocolate or sugar or desserts. But as you likely know, these strategies at some point backfire on us. Why do they backfire on us? Well, the body needs food, it needs nutrition, and it needs a caloric source for energy. When the brain senses a lack of macro or micronutrition in the body, macronutrition meaning protein, fat, carbohydrate, micronutrition meaning vitamins and minerals, the brain has a simple and powerful way to alert us to these deficiencies. It screams hungry. Your brain literally puts your appetite into overdrive when you're calorically or nutritionally lacking. We simply cannot artificially control that which is essential for life and survival. You can try, but it's always going to be a losing battle. The irony here is that when we try to control or artificially suppress our appetite, it gets even stronger. It becomes more powerful and far more insistent that we eat. And again, that's a good thing because your brain is helping you to survive. It thinks you are starving. But we end up thinking that our increased appetite is a sign that I'm a willpower weakling, which, as I hope you're seeing, is completely untrue. Of course, we need to work with our appetite. We need to cultivate it. We need to learn from it, grow with it, and experiment with it. Learn what works, what doesn't work. So I'm not saying to sit around and eat ice cream and cookies all day because that's what your appetite is seemingly telling you. Try that for sure, and you'll likely find it doesn't truly benefit you, or at least not on a consistent basis. My point is, we're here to learn to work with appetite. Yeah, sometimes indulge it. Sometimes you're going to limit it. That's fine. Sometimes you're going to regulate it. You're going to notice what are your weaknesses around certain foods. And we do our best to learn over time how to have a better and better relationship with food and appetite. So this isn't a perfect science, my friends. Our experience of eating, it's very human. It's very fallible. It's very imperfect. We're here to learn as we go along. You're here to learn to do your best. There are surely some great practices that help us learn to regulate and work with our appetite in a more natural and effortless way. One such practice, my friends, is this: slow eating. The act of eating fast puts the body in a stress response, and this state of stress, sympathetic nervous system dominance, actually deregulates your appetite. I want to say that again because it's so important. Fast eating creates a physiologic stress response, and this stress state has a side effect of creating appetite dysregulation. That's because in a true survival response, when you're running from a lion, you don't need to be meal planning or determining if you should have milk chocolate or dark chocolate. In a true survival situation, all unnecessary metabolic functions are switched off. That's why a majority of people report that when they feel stressed, they eat more. Well, probably about 15% report that when they're stressed, they tend to eat less. And there's some percentage of people who will do either one. But the fascinating point here is that stress deregulates appetite and will most often drive us to eat more. This is especially true because food itself is a powerful de-stressor, meaning I feel bad, I eat food, I feel better. So for many people, their appetite can feel more out of control because of stress. And by stress, I mean anxiety, fear, upset, anger, judgment, negative self-talk, self-attack, and more. Negative self-talk, by the way, and unkind beliefs about self, meaning I'm no good, I'm not lovable, I'll never be okay, I'll never find love, I'm too fat, I'm too this, I'm too that. These I'm calling self-chosen stressors. Stresses that we simply don't need to have and can indeed begin to let go of. And by letting go of optional self-chosen stress, we create more of a physiologic relaxation response, parasympathetic nervous system dominance, which is the ideal state for our most easeful and natural appetite regulation. So I hope you're seeing, my friends, that fighting appetite creates the kind of physiology that actually makes our appetite grow even stronger. So it's time to let go of controlling and start living, start listening, learn from your appetite, slow down, relax with food, be present, eat it, enjoy it, let go of self-chosen stressors, and begin to have the kind of empowered and free relationship with food that you were meant to have.
Hey friends, we're so happy that you've joined us for another episode of The Psychology of Eating with Marc David. Are you loving these episodes? Then simply subscribe and you'll never miss an episode again. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a comment below so we can hear more about your own journey with food and body. And if you're curious about what we offer at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, including our internationally acclaimed coach certification training that's rooted in dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition, please head on over to our website, psychologyofeating.com. Until next time, take care, and remember,